Hello everyone, welcome to a Chatty Get Ready with me. I already have my wig cap on because I feel like whatever I end up doing is going to need a wig. It probably won't be super dramatic. I feel like I just really set expectations to high there. But there's just a few things that I wanted to chat with you guys about. I have absolutely no direction for this Get Ready with me right now. Normally I at least have some notes. Generally, whenever I do any kind of video, I have at least some sort of vague outline because I like to know what points do I really want to make sure that I cover, and I have nothing right now. So I'm extra anxious, but just trying to breathe. Sometimes I look back at my footage and I'm like, girl, calm down. It's just makeup. So I'm going to start with something that is going to lead me to a discussion that I'm really nervous about. I'm going to start with a face primer because I am going to do my base makeup first. And it's like, why would a face primer be so nerve-wracking? Well, I'm using the Too Faced Primed and Peachy Cooling Matte Skin Perfecting Primer. This was sent to me by Too Faced. So this is where my heart starts racing, because if you guys watched a video I did a little over a month ago now, I talked about PR and I talked about how I was pretty overwhelmed with my makeup collection and how I wasn't accepting anything anymore. And that was very true. I turned down a lot of stuff and Too Faced found me, and it was at a time when I was sort of questioning my future a little bit, just because I do this largely for fun. I don't really have like an end goal in mind. I know sometimes people start YouTube or other social media platforms with the intention of making it their job. I don't have that intention. I will say that right now. Like, at this moment, it's not my intention, and I don't see how it could be because it's not really reliable. And I have a house, I have a family, I have a full-time job. Like, I don't see it being really practical for me, besides the fact of it being totally overwhelming and me not being thick-skinned enough to handle it, for sure. That's also why I'm kind of nervous talking about this stuff, because I'm still figuring a lot of stuff out. And yes, I do sometimes paint myself into a corner. I did have a few people message me after my PR video, and they were like, you probably shouldn't have said what you said because you're gonna back yourself into a corner because you're gonna change your mind. And I was like, I'm not gonna change my mind. This is how I feel. And that was how I felt. Now, my two issues, which I talked about at that time, I'm gonna also use a little bit of the Urban Decay, what is this, the pink liquid concealer. I just need extra brightness. I didn't sleep very well last night. Now I forget what I was saying. I got it back. I'm using the YSL green concealer. Little tiny bit of color correcting. My face is fantastic right now. I'm not sure what foundation I'm going to use yet, so let me finish my thought. I was mainly concerned about having too much makeup, and also the concern with keeping brands happy, which is admittedly there because you worry about it. But for me, I'm just thinking about this as a one-time thing. Now, I'm not going to share everything, but I wanted to share this note. This is on the box that I got from Too Faced. I cried, and I was so nervous about telling people, even though I was so excited about it, because like, are people going to feel differently about me? And I talked to a few of my friends, some people who do YouTube and some people who don't, and every single one of them was like, do you. If people decide to change their mind about you because of this, then they're going to change their mind about you anyway. And I'm still me. I'm still decluttering makeup. I'm doing it on my own terms now. I've decided not to film any more declutters because I can't really film them anyway. They always end up super blurry. I'm using the Urban Decay Naked Skin foundation because it was there. It's my favorite. And there's always that pressure, and then there's the people who are like, please send me stuff, and it gets so overwhelming, and then having to justify everything because I say, oh, I definitely want to get rid of this, and then someone would be like, oh no, don't get rid of that, don't get rid of that, or why are you getting rid of that, that's my favorite thing. And you kind of piss people off a little bit because they don't understand that you don't like something that they love, or you're keeping something that they don't like. And so I've just been decluttering on my own time when I'm going through stuff and I'm like, yeah, this isn't working, I'm gonna get rid of this. And it's helping me a lot working through my own makeup collection so that I'm not super overwhelmed when I'm looking at stuff and I'm like, why am I having this? And why am I holding on to stuff for the sake of like project panning things? Like I was holding on to like a tiny little bit of an Estee Lauder foundation, a double wear foundation, because I was like, I tried panning this, it didn't work, I'm gonna hang on to this and I'm gonna pan it. And I'm like, I hate that stuff. Why am I keeping this? It's like I talked about in my sunk costs video, like the money's gone. The money's gone, I'm not getting it back. I'm not returning a bottle of foundation that has a third of it left. I can't do it anyway because it's been so long, but still, I'm not going to try and be one of those people. But what's the point of hanging on to stuff just to like try and pan it and make myself miserable for a couple of months? For what? Like, I already know I don't like the foundation. I don't like things that are too heavy, like the double wear foundation. Like I don't like the Kat Von D Lock-It tattoo foundation, whatever that one is. I don't like that one either because it's too heavy. So I kind of learned my lesson. One of the things I always said about decluttering was that I didn't want to declutter if I hadn't learned my lesson about the product. And the things I'm decluttering are things that are older and things that I've definitely learned my lesson from and that I will hopefully not repeat going further. Although there's times when I wonder when it's okay to try something new again. Sometimes I look at products and I'm like, I haven't used something like this in a while. Maybe I should give it another chance. And sometimes it's a good decision and sometimes it's a bad. I think it depends really on if it was like a personal preference or if it's like a skin thing. For me, with like the heavier full coverage foundations like that, it's because it's a skin thing. They just don't mesh well with my skin. And unless my skin changes, my preference on the foundation isn't going to change. It's not about the level of coverage. It's about the way that it looks on my skin and how cakey and heavy it looks, as opposed to like the Naked Skin foundation, which I love so much. So anyway, I just wanted to mention that to you guys because I really just want to be honest. That is all I've ever tried to be, is just be myself and be honest. And it's super scary when people tear you apart for being honest and for being unsure about things and for changing your opinion, because I think you can have pretty solid opinions one way and then something can happen and change your mind, and it can be a number of different factors. It's not just simply like, oh, Too Faced contacted me and wanted to send me makeup and I said yes and instantly I'm like, I have no problems anymore. It's not how it works. Like there was so many other factors at play, like the fact that I was already decluttering stuff, the fact that I was already managing my collection, the fact that I haven't purchased any new makeup in a very long time, which was a me decision, something that I haven't really advertised to people. I haven't been making like I'm on a no-buy videos because I've been trying to keep it a little less pressure for myself. I mentioned it in my last video because it was sort of relevant to the context, because I am interested in brands and stuff that I'm not purchasing from. I don't know why I'm blending this to death, but I am. I've been really into like super blending my makeup lately, like my foundation. Normally I would just go super heavy and kind of leave it a little unblended maybe, but I've been super into over blending stuff, or maybe just blending enough. Maybe that's just what it is. But anyway, I just wanted to share that with you guys in hopefully the most positive of way. I've recently come across a few people who've been like overwhelmingly negative on social media, and I'm like, oh my god, is that how I come off? Because it's so draining. It's so draining for me to be around other people like that, other people who are like me. I need people who like lift me up. That's the stuff that I need to focus on more. It's such a challenge sometimes because I'm always looking for the bad things, and I've really had to cut myself off from that because I'm like, I'm feeding into this negativity. Like I'm feeding the monster is kind of how I'm looking at it. I'm like, it's not going to make me feel better. If I start going and seeking out all the things people are saying about me, if I start rifling through comment sections and all these other things, looking for what people are saying about me or what they're not necessarily saying, but what they're saying about other people, it doesn't help. It really doesn't help. So I'm just trying to like stay in my own lane, stay focused, stay positive, and just trying to think positively, which is a struggle. When you're somebody who struggles with mental illness, it's really incredibly difficult to kind of keep that positivity sometimes. And it doesn't matter what you're doing to combat it. Sometimes it still comes back, especially when you're feeding it. It's going to be hard for me not to try and seek out what people are saying, because I know there will be people who won't want to talk to me directly. They just are going to want to talk about me, and you know, that's fine. Let them live their life, I guess. And if they want to choose to spend their time talking about me, that's fine, I guess. It's really weird to me. I really don't think that I am that important or that interesting, but hey, if that's what they want to do, then I'm just going to let them do it, and I don't need to be a part of that discussion. And if people want to talk to me about their thoughts and feelings about like this issue or anything else, then I'm open to it. You know, I feel like people are going to call me a flip-flop, maybe even call me two-faced, which would actually be kind of funny, which I get. I understand, because if the situation was flipped, if I saw this from somebody else, I would probably feel the same way, and I'd be like, okay, wait a second. But it's just a little bit different when you're actually in that position. You can think all you want about what you would do if the shoe was on the other foot, but it's a totally different thing altogether when it actually is happening to you. It's funny how many things I've changed my mind on after being in the situation, as opposed to viewing it from the outside. And sometimes it's hard to tell people about that, because sometimes people don't understand why you don't stay the same way. And it's because situations don't stay the same. Not all the factors that were like influencing your opinion, whatever it may be, may stay the same. And it's hard when people kind of have a certain opinion about you, because there's only so much people know about me from what they see here. And it's not everything. It's not everything. It's not all of who I am. And it's hard to show that all of the time. And I don't even know if it would matter in some cases. All right, so I spent way too long on my base makeup, although I think it looks kind of okay. I want to do a look using the Too Faced Chocolate Gold palette. So this is one of the things that they sent to me. And they have this little book with 3 looks in it, and I want to do the Your Money look, or my variation of it, because it's green on the lid with pink in the crease, and they use a pink shimmer, which I know terrifies some people to think about using pink shimmer. I've used these a couple of times. I did a look yesterday to play with some of the greens. I did this green shade on the lid, which I'm going to use today, but I used the more olivey green in my crease. It was so nice. But I'm going to spray a little bit of Fix Plus on the shade Moneybags. And I already have my eyeshadow primer on, so I'm just going to go in with this shade. I was really surprised when I first started playing with this palette, because it's a different Too Faced formula, or it feels different than some of the other ones that I've used. So Too Faced did actually send me an extra Sweet Peach palette, so I think I'm going to give that one away. I'm not going to have like an official giveaway, because those things are stressful, so I'm probably just going to find somebody who wants the palette and offer it to them. I've done that a couple of times with stuff, just kind of been like, hey, I have this thing, do you want it? Or sometimes people mention things, and if I can get it, give it to them, I give it to them. And I prefer kind of doing stuff that way, instead of like the big giveaways, which just bring people to your channel who don't necessarily like you, or are gonna actually stick around or care. They just want the free stuff. I don't really like that. I mean, I did do that when I was first starting my channel, because it was one of the things that people were always saying, it gets you more people, and I'm sure it did. I'm sure there were some people who found my channel because I was posting giveaways, but I haven't done a giveaway in a long time. Just my personal thing, my personal feeling on it right now. That's all. Trying to keep it that way. I'm trying to keep everything like it's my opinion, and I can change my mind. I'm trying to, stumbling all over my words. I'm just trying to tell myself that it's okay to change my mind. It's okay if people don't like me, and I can just deal with it. In whatever way I can deal with it, because being stressed out over something like this is so not worth it. Like, we're talking about makeup. We're talking about things that should be more of an escape from all the craziness that's going on, as opposed to focusing on it. Now, not really sure why speaking about all the craziness reminded me of this, but to switch gears a little bit, I have been watching The Handmaid's Tale. I can't get over how good that show is. Like, it is incredibly perfect. I always think that there's going to be something that's going to ruin the show for me because it almost seems too good. Like, it seems too good to be true. But every time I watch a new episode of the show, it just gets better and better and better. I probably shouldn't have done my face makeup first. Why did I think this was a good idea? Okay. This is the shade New Money, by the way. This is such a cool thing. It kind of reminds me of a peacock. I love using shimmers in my crease. Break all the rules. So yes, I've been watching The Handmaid's Tale. I'm all caught up now. I want to talk about it, but I'm sure a lot of people haven't seen it yet, so no spoilers. And I've been watching still a lot of Drag Race. It's still my happy place whenever I'm stressed out. This morning, before I got the nerve to film, I was watching some season 5 because I love Jinx Monsoon. It's nice to have somewhere safe to like escape to. I feel like a green lipstick is what's needed for this. I'm gonna have to dig out a green once I finish this here. So I guess that's really the main thing that I wanted to talk about with you guys, and just be honest and continue on moving forward. You know, that's really the only thing any of us can do, is just keep going. And hopefully people understand, and if they don't understand, then that's fine too. You know, I can't make them, I can't change people's minds, I can't tell them to feel a certain way if they don't. This eyeliner was sitting right here in my Urban Decay Woodstock, so I just hope that people can see that I'm human here, and you know, I make mistakes sometimes and I try my hardest all of the time, and I'm just being me. I'm just trying to do the best that I can and be the best that I can possibly be. And for me to be the best that I can possibly be, it involves being honest, even if people don't really want to hear the truth. So it sounds so over dramatic and like so serious, but I'm nervous about it. Like I said, because I'm sure there's already people who've clicked off this video who are like done with me because they are going to view me differently now because I did something that I said recently I wasn't going to do. So all I can say is that I understand and that I wish you the best. I'm trying to accept that people can move on, and I don't even necessarily have to know why all the time. Sometimes I do wonder, I will really wonder, like I said, I've been trying to avoid comment sections on like other videos and stuff, especially from people who do similar videos than me, because sometimes the comments are positive towards the other person, like the person who made that video, but they kind of tear other people down. I don't like when people like compliment me by insulting other people, and I do see that quite often on other videos where people say things like that, and I will see people who used to comment on my videos who don't comment on my videos anymore, and sometimes I just really want to ask them. I'm honestly just curious. I'm sure it wouldn't end well, because if they didn't comment telling me why they left my channel, it probably wasn't for a good reason. Sometimes I will see people mention me or allude to me, and it's hard not to respond back to those kind of comments either. Now I did that on Reddit, and that was one of the things that caused me to delete my Reddit account, which is kind of sad. I had it for a long time. I had talked to a lot of people on there, but it just wasn't a positive place for me anymore because people started to talk about me more, and on like the beauty guru sub, they just don't really encourage the creators to respond back. And so when I would respond back, it just wasn't positive, and like a couple people like flat out told me off and were like, you shouldn't be here. And it's so weird because it's like you only know it's me because of the username and because of like the flair that they make you have. You have to verify you are who you say you are, so that it's not just like I can talk on behalf of anybody else. It was weird, and it was just not a positive place for me because I couldn't really respond to anything anymore without people jumping on me about it. So I just made the decision to delete my account, and I still check from time to time and see what's going on some of the threads and stuff, but I miss the communication, the participation, and connecting with people. It's like what would happen is I would comment and I'd be like downvoted to hell because people would just see my name and just do it. Like some of the other subs, like Makeup Rehab, I really loved participating there, but then there's some people who just, they don't like me personally, whether they came across my channel or not or whatever, so I couldn't even have discussions with people because they would see my username and that was it. And that's kind of sad, and I miss that part of interaction because I've always been like an online forum-y type of person. If it's not if it wasn't Reddit, like I was on LiveJournal, I was on like Oh No They Didn't, celebrity gossip. I have to stay away from the gossip stuff, I guess, because hearing negative things about people all the time really warps your opinion of people. Like if you're always reading what people don't like about somebody, it's hard to think otherwise. It's hard to think about the other things. And I do know that since I have been, you know, not actively participating in some of that stuff, I have felt better, like mentally. Like it was almost a good thing for me to have come across some of the stuff about myself because it made me have to make a decision to kind of cut it out, which has made me a happier person because then I'm not around the negativity as much and I can be like, hey, I'm gonna do stuff for me instead of worrying about what somebody else is gonna think. I was also recently inspired by the Shane and Graveyard Girl videos. I hadn't watched Graveyard Girl for a while, but I was watching some of her videos and she did this one where she was talking about like unboxing a handbag, and she was talking about how nervous she was because she just knew people were going to judge her differently because she bought this expensive handbag, and she was making so many justifications for it. And I could so relate to that. Like I know it's a much smaller scale for me, but I could still relate to like all those little justifications and things she was doing. Like it's the same thing that I do, like when I'm talking about things that I'm happy about and things that I'm, you know, really grateful for and things that I want to talk about more and feel like, oh, are people going to really judge me on this? So for my lips, I just used the Ciate London Liquid Velvet in Envy. So this is my pretty dramatic look. It was actually very easy, but it's all like the lashes and the lipstick that just take it into like villain territory. Anyway, I feel, make sure lipstick's not on my teeth. All right, so the pink wig definitely sets it over the top. I think that was exactly what it needed. I really like how it all turned out. I really like the light cotton candy wig with the darker makeup, but I feel like it totally vibes with the whole peacock vibe. My shirt doesn't really go with it now anymore, but oh well. Thank you so much for watching and hanging out with me. If you have any questions at all, if I was unclear, I will do my best to talk to you guys in the comment section down below. I was trying to put my thoughts into words well, and I don't know if I did the greatest job at that because there's still a lot of things kind of left unsaid, I feel like. But anyway, let me know if you have any questions, concerns, whatever, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Anyway, thank you so much once again, and I do hope we get a chance to chat soon. Bye for now.